Hi everyone. Yep, this is a Sunday. I know it's very impromptu. I was like, we just got back from work. Yeah, today I have some work outside, and then I thought like it would be a good time for me to actually share with you what exactly is a new workshop that I came up with. Okay, this coming Wednesday, right at 7 p.m. I know there are many of you who sign up. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, there are about like 200 of you have already signed up. We have limited space, so thank you so much for signing up early. For those of you who have not signed up, and I know some of you have questions that you want to inquire more about the workshop itself, all right? So today's short session, it won't take 1 hour, I hope. Okay, all right, because sometimes I can actually really go overboard. But I thought like since I just got the feelings that I need to actually explain the workshop, okay, like so that you can understand what are you expecting on that particular night itself when the total lunar eclipse is going to happen on the 26th of May, which is also a Vesak day. All right, so I feel that because all this time when I do all these like workshops, breakthrough workshops, meditation workshops and all that, it is a paid event. And for the first time, I guess this is like the first time, okay, in the events and workshops that I do, right, that it is not a sponsored event, nor it is a paid event. It's fully complimentary because I think the world needs it. I mean, I definitely needs it, okay? In a way, I always in a way looking forward for eclipses and special like astrological phenomena like this in order to work on our energy and to actually work deeper into our inner self, right? So therefore, when I find the timing on the 26th of May, I find that there's a lot of like good relevant things that pulls me or pushes me in a way that I always say is that Guan Yin Ma talks to me and say that, hey, it is time for me to actually throw this workshop, which is a powerful total supermoon lunar eclipse workshop that I title it as Renew and Realign. All right, so hi Mr. Lim, I was just like talking with them in the chat group. Okay, hi Vivian. Okay, I saw Vivian Lee is there also, right? There's so many of you. It is like very impromptu. Okay, no one knows about this in a way this Facebook live because it's random. I just felt like it just now before I went out to work. I just told my daughter, there's like, okay, just prepare the background for me. All right, so a simple background will do where I want to actually share more about this workshop. All right, so I really hope all of you here, if you can help me to share out this session itself, that will be great. It will be really awesome so that more people will understand what exactly is this like supermoon lunar eclipse workshop. It is a total lunar eclipse. Now some call it, of course, total supermoon lunar eclipse. Some even call it as in like a super flower moon. It's like a super blood flower moon lunar eclipse, the one coming up in Wednesday. All right, and somehow this year itself we have 2 consecutive months of full moon, which is labeled as supermoon, because in April itself we have gone through 1 supermoon, and now in like May 26th there's another round of supermoon. And supermoon simply means that, okay, these are the timing where the full moon, okay, has its nearest, distance, okay, distance to Earth itself, okay. Therefore, right, okay, we can actually witness the moon and we can see it as if that it appears in a way at least up to about like 15% larger. Okay, it looks bigger comparatively to like normal full moons that we have in other months itself. And you know that when it comes to astrological studies and all that, even in Chinese metaphysics, okay, the moon, or represents the yin, represents our emotion. Because the sun and moon is very important elements in terms of all astrological studies. Okay, in metaphysics as well, it's very important. Basically, it just means the concept of yin and yang. All right, so whenever we actually look into the astrological phenomena of the sun and also the moon, we look at how this massive, intense energy is going to impact us on Earth. Okay, so now human here on Earth, okay, where we are Earthlings. Okay, Earthlings here on Earth are highly affected by the power or the energy of the sun and moon. Okay, so this time round we are actually focusing on the moon, okay, where it is going through the only total lunar eclipse that we will experience in 2021. All right, this is the only total lunar eclipse. It's powerful. Not only that, it is also in a way visible, because sometimes when eclipse happens, right, we might not be in a place where we can actually witness them. Okay, we might not be in a place where we can see them, especially when the timing that is happening saying, example, if you are in the part of the world where it is daytime for you, and then this lunar eclipse itself, it won't be visible in your country. So the good thing is, I mean, to me it's a good thing, okay, but a lot of people find that eclipses itself is so-called bad. Okay, so I'm going to briefly explain that, right, why people deem it as bad and why to me eclipses is so good. It's something that I truly looking forward to. If you see my Facebook story itself, right, and Instagram story, even last night itself, me and my daughters, we are preparing with, like, you know, our new set of like healing singing chrysables. Okay, we are actually getting into like preparing ourselves, okay, into the eclipse itself. All right, and why is it so powerful is like because we mentioned that the sun and moon, in terms of Chinese metaphysics, it's also two of the most important element, okay, in all studies of metaphysics, okay, including it's like, you know, feng shui, 八字, okay, like qi men, I Ching, okay, even face reading, okay. So the sun and moon, okay, represents the yin and yang counterpart in our life endeavors, the things that we actually in a way sees, feel, or witness. All right, so now the moon itself represents the emotions part, the yin counterpart, our subconscious, deep into ourselves, something that is not in a way external but is more internal. So for those of you, if you are into your spiritual path, okay, right, I'm sure many of you have heard about the word spirituality, right? More and more people goes into this path, right? I mean, for me, my own observing is like, even me, myself, sometimes, okay, right, it could be like, you know, I have to constantly bring the awareness and remind myself that spiritual path is more on doing, okay, rather than just saying or speaking about. It's all about really walking that inner path, okay, or the inner work that we have to put in within ourselves. So those of you who are already on, like, you know, the spiritual path itself, now this total lunar eclipse itself is very good time for us to actually dwell deeper into our subconscious. Now, what is the purpose of people going into like spiritual path? Because these are the people, in a way, that to me, at least, I believe that we believe that in our lifetime itself, there are so much more rather than the external, physical, material world or earthly matters that we want to pursue, or the success in terms of earthly matters that we want to achieve, okay, in this lifetime. Therefore, we know that life consists of, like, you know, like more dimensions, okay, a deeper, okay, and definitely more meaningful, rather than in a way every day in, day out, fighting for that, like, you know, material world, money, financial stability, security, right? We need to feel a certain way, and then society norms and all these things that impact us in the way, okay, that we are impacted now, especially during the whole pandemic things, okay? So people go into spirituality and all that as well, right? Because they believe that, okay, whatever physical beings that we are now, okay, in this lifetime, we believe that the inner spirit, means our, in a way, energy, okay, beings, the soul within us itself, right, has like a higher purpose, have something much more deeper, okay, to achieve, okay? So when I say deeper, it's like, you know, then people will be asking, it's like, Jessie, when you say like, okay, you want to achieve deeper or you want to achieve higher? Because like deep and high is like different thing, right? You want to ascend yourself, because deeper is going down in a way, all right? But like ascending, spirituality is about being light, it's going up. Because when we study about yin and yang is, okay, whenever we can actually go deeper in our life itself, the deeper we can go, the higher we can experience in terms of energy, because it's both yin and yang, okay? The radar imagines like the graph, okay, of that energy the detectation, okay? When you detect the energy, right, the lower the energy can go, the higher it can actually flung up in the graph, okay? So it's similar. So in order for us to work towards our higher frequency or higher energy beings, right, okay, at times when the time permits, when the time is right, we need to really dive deep into our inner self, okay? Something is wrong with this mic, because it's like, I think there's some, no, it's okay. It's like, it's just, I feel some electricity, okay? I think maybe it's the energy lah. Somehow it's like okay, I got electrocuted by the mic here, minor ones, okay? So, right, you know, in a way that when we dive or dwell deeper into ourselves, into our subconscious, into our unconscious, the deeper we actually push ourselves into it, the higher we can push our energy level or our frequency to reach to another sort of like awareness, let's put it that way, okay? Just imagine, just like the feelings of like happiness and sadness, okay? for people who have not experienced, in a way, sadness, they do not know how high or how to say the extreme, okay, part of happiness, because it's like it's a yin and yang, it's a balancing part, okay. So during the eclipse itself, now eclipse itself of the sun and moon, right, it is aligned. So we can actually go to the next background here, okay. You can see that when now this is not when the sun and moon is aligned, okay. This one is like my daughter insists that, oh, you have to show this picture because she somehow Googled out this picture. She said it's nice, what, okay. So during a lunar eclipse itself, right, okay, it's when the sun, moon and the earth is in between them, okay. When the earth is actually in between the sun and the moon, all right, that actually cuts out, okay, the sun rays or the lights that penetrating into the surface of the moon, so that at that period of time itself, right, you will see that, okay, even on a very bright full moon night, okay, at that moment itself, suddenly you can see that the light of the moon itself has been shadowed, okay, by earth, all right. When it's shadowed by earth, okay, it means that those are the time when earth, sun and moon, okay, which is shown in the next background here, right, okay, roughly, okay, you can see here, all right, because this is very, very impromptu, okay, it's very last minute thing. So these are the things that the best that we can actually prepare, right. So when you see that, okay, when this moon itself goes behind the earth and it forms a alignment, a straight alignment, that is when the lunar eclipse is happening, okay. And that moment itself is like suddenly the moon, which is like, you know, very bright itself with the reflection of the sun rays or the sunlight, at one moment it is totally blocked by earth because it forms into a perfect alignment between the three planets itself, or the three stars, I mean one star and two planets, okay, right, one stars and two planets itself, right, okay, in a way that it forms that alignment that the moon loses its light for that momentary moment. Now in the olden times, right, okay, people are very afraid of eclipses, whether it is a sun eclipse or the moon eclipse, right. In Chinese tradition, if you see, it's like a lot of Chinese culture and all that, right, even up to now, people still have this like folklore stories or whatever. They call it 天狗食月 or 天狗食日. It's like the sky dog eating up the moon or the sky dog eating up the sun. So most of the time people will advise everyone to stay indoor. Try not to go out to look at eclipses, all right, because it's supposed to be a taboo. It's supposed to be bad. When you look at the sun eclipse or even the moon eclipse itself, right, it's supposed to actually bring bad luck into your life. Therefore, you need to try to stay indoor as much as possible and avoid this as much as possible. Now the reason, for my understanding, is like, why is it in the olden days, I'm sure some masters, okay, someone who is like, you know, very into all this like spiritual path and all this, has definitely advised people to stay indoor. But is it exactly the words that they say, that if you stay outdoor and you look at the eclipse that it will bring bad luck to you? That one I really begs to differ, because to my understanding is, whatever the people is trying to ask you to stay indoor is because during these powerful moments is the best time for us to actually stay indoor, be like kept away from as much of distractions as possible from the external world, to keep ourselves within ourselves, means like to reflect deep within ourselves, all right. Either we sleep early or we stay indoor with lesser activities, so that we can now reflect in our life, focus in our life, and see what are the things, or go deeper into our life to understand what are the things that we need to realize, to need to break through, and what are the things that is stopping us to actually going further, who is in a way burdening us in terms of our energy spirit, burdening us and pulling us down instead of arising, okay, in a way in terms of energy, okay. So therefore, when you stay indoor, generally the chances is there will be lesser activities, especially in the olden days, all right. So there are of course no TVs, no karaoke, okay, no handphones and all that. So to them, it's like the best way, instead of like explaining all this like metaphysical, astronomical understanding to them, it's just easier to just ask them to just stay indoor, all right, and use some fear tactic to ask them to stay indoor, so that they will all listen. And then when they stay indoor, there are chances of them reflecting into their life and looking deeper within themselves, okay, will be higher. So therefore, I think over these thousands of years itself, right, people has like I would say that passed down, okay, the message itself by adding a bit of like personal thoughts and feelings into it, and probably also add on a lot of fear into it. Therefore, a lot of people feel that, oh, whenever eclipse comes, that it's best for us to hide away from it and stay indoor, okay, because it's going to be bad. Now, to me, it's like all eclipses is not bad. In fact, if you are into that spiritual path, if you're into metaphysical path and all this rank, right, you will be excited to wait for all these eclipses to come, because this time of like period of time itself, right, the energy is at its highest level and it's most intense. All right, so try to ask yourself now, for the past week, even though the eclipse is coming Wednesday, for the past week, in fact, since last month, full moon onwards, right, you can see that this heightened of energy, right, emotional sort of like push, okay, that tense, that intensement, okay, in a way have like started. Some of you probably have like, in a way experienced it probably much earlier, right? Some of it probably, if you are sensitive enough, right, you can actually experience it in like, this particular week itself. Now, even animals, insects, okay, and spiders especially, if you do a Google research about it, right, every time when it comes to like an eclipse and all that, right, they will like tear down all their webs, okay, so that after the eclipse, they will rebuild, renew it. All right, they will build a new one, okay, for all these animals and all that, because they are very sensitive. Their instinct level are very sensitive. They have no distraction. To them, they are very focused. But for us human, right, we have so much of distraction nowadays, okay, that we've forgotten to actually put attention into our own instinct, our own instinctual nature that we are all born with, okay. So therefore, right, during moments like this, right, it is good that we can actually in a way be more aware to join like workshops like this, so that we now can actually like try to do certain meditations. That's what we will lead. Now, all my workshops itself, it won't be just a meditative workshop, because to me, awareness starts from the mind, okay, the mind, the mental, the beliefs, okay, of the person. So in this workshop itself, I'll be sharing with you as in like, what is spirituality? Why is the eclipse so important? How is it going to impact on us? Then what exactly are the things that we need to renew? Renew means what are the things we need to let go of, okay, so that we can renew certain things and realign, because the eclipse happened when the sun, moon and the earth align in a straight line. So what exactly are the things that we need to realign? Now, how do we know that we need to renew and realign? Is when you feel that there are certain aspects in your life that you feel that there are more obstacles, there are more challenges. Now, all these challenges, so-called bad luck. Now, why is it so that people ask you to stay indoor to avoid the bad luck? Why people deems eclipses as bad luck? Because every time an eclipse happens, all right, that is the moment that you will feel after the eclipse, right? The energy pushes you to go into a major change in your life. All right. So for people who are reluctant to change, or for some people who are not even reluctant to change, they don't know what to change. They don't know what is going on with them. Okay. They don't know what exactly it is that's causing all these sufferings, this pain, okay, this unhappiness, right? They do not know about it. All right. So therefore, they do not know what to change. Okay. So when they do not know all these things, or people who are refusing to change, they're in denial, they do not want to see the inner truth within themselves. When the eclipse happens, okay, and after the eclipse happens, the intense energy itself will push these people as an internal turmoil with their emotions. This is when you see the people's emotions becomes more like out of control, right? That's why you will see it. Like what actually triggered me was last week, okay, when I say in my neighborhood, I told you, at a shopping mall. I think a lady, if I'm not mistaken, she actually jumped down, okay, from a shopping mall itself, inside the shopping mall, to commit suicide. All right. So it's like more and more these things will happen, especially during, okay, the emotional period of the eclipse. So for those of you here also, right, okay, I mean, you can share with me, do you feel any changes in terms of your emotional reaction? Now, these are very, very good signs and symptoms to tell us that there could be something within us that is seeking for a renewal, that is seeking for a realignment. So in this workshop itself, right, we will now try to actually look deeper into ourselves, okay, understanding what are the things that's actually or exactly is blocking us, okay, from this particular renewal and realignment, because this particular period, or when the portal opens up, okay, in this coming Wednesday itself, is the best time for us to transcend our energy. But there will be some people, definitely, they will be held back. Okay, they will still in a way be burdened by some heavy energy, which they are not realizing it. Okay, then so the purpose of the workshop is to realize what exactly are this energy that's holding us back, that is not allowing us to actually transcend, okay, to really like ascend higher energetically, so that we will see clearly and we will find our purpose in life to have a more clarity in our day-to-day purpose itself. Okay, so that will be the whole purpose of the workshop. And I know some of you also ask me, there are a list of things to prepare for the workshop. Okay, yes, I mean, I know, I mean, the chances of like asking all of you to actually join without preparing things, probably it will be easier, all right? Because people likes easy things. No one like the hard work thing, okay? All right, more so ever now is inner work, we have to work within ourselves. But in order to make to make the sessions more beneficial, to make the sessions to see some results, right? Okay, I need you to actually prepare as best as you could. If you really can't prepare it, I'm sure there will be some people joining last minute. Okay, if you really can't prepare it, by all means, it's fine. Okay, but the thing is, if you can, it will be another experience. Okay, if you can prepare the list of the things that I will share with you later, so that you can actually, in a way, discover or rediscover yourself. Okay, by going through some what I call a yang meditations, and also then followed by a yin meditation. And all this, the difference of the meditation, I will explain to you in the workshop. Okay, so all this is happening this Wednesday, 26th of May, all right, 7 p.m. okay, in Malaysia time. Right, in Malaysia time, you really have to use your time calculator, okay, to see what time is it in your own country. Malaysia is GMT +8, all right, so now currently we are 6:16 here in Malaysia. So these things is actually happening. Renew and Realign Powerful Total Supermoon Lunar Eclipse Workshop, okay, is starting at 7 p.m. Malaysia time, and I am starting sharp. Okay, and those of you have registered, if I'm not mistaken, 200 over of you have registered. All right, now the Zoom room, it is via Zoom, it's not Facebook, because we need an enclosed, okay, environment. So the Zoom room will be open at 6:30 p.m. Malaysia time. Okay, please be punctual, get into the room by 6:30, because I will not wait, and I will start exactly at 7, because the eclipse itself, in a way, okay, will go into its heightened period 7+. Okay, between 7+ to 9 p.m. is the period that I do not want to actually waste. That is the intense moment. All right, so I want to prep everyone by 7 sharp itself to get into that mode, okay, so that by 8 itself, we have to ensure that we get into our meditative mode. All right, so now the purpose of this book, whatever workshop and all these things, it is in the link. Okay, you can scan on the QR code here to read further. All these things is inside there. All right, what I want to share with you now is actually the things that you need to prepare. All right, now on that day itself, yes, the list is long. It might be small appearing on your screen, but don't worry. When you scan on the QR code or you click on the link in the comment later to register, all these details are inside the link itself. All right, so the first thing is, now why I need to do this Facebook Live is, if those of you who have registered or interested to register by tomorrow on Monday itself, it will be good if you try to actually eat lighter. Okay, normally people will prepare themselves by being a vegetarian. Now you don't have to be vegetarian. Even though if you are being a vegetarian, you also need, okay, to understand that if you take too much gluten, Chinese, you have a lot of all those mock meat, gluten stuff and all these things, that is not recommended as well. If can, try to actually eat as light as in fresh vegetables. You can eat fish and all these things as well. If you can, avoid red meat, all right? You don't have to be in total vegetarian mode, all right? So at least for 3 days, starting on Monday, Tuesday, and by Wednesday evening, and this is to ensure that, so when we do not have heavy meat or carbohydrates, too much of gluten and all these things, right? This energy, a dense energy, it pulls our body energy down. All right, so if you eat lighter itself, right, we reserve the energy within our body. Our internal mechanism, in a way, what we call our digestive system, also do not need, okay, that much of energy to digest the food. Okay, so we can reserve the energy, so that we want to channel this energy deeper within us on the 26th night itself. Okay, so one thing is, of course, advisable to eat light. All right, then the next thing is, of course, wearing loose and comfortable clothes. Okay, if you're at home, you can wear your pajamas. Now, if you can, okay, you don't even need to wear your inner wears. Okay, it's like your bras and all this. If you feel comfortable with it, release it, let loose as much as possible. Okay, that will be helpful. Okay, to allow your body to actually, in a way, the energy travels without much restrictions. Okay, and then of course, it will be good for you to actually look for a quiet space. Okay, or room. Quiet place reminds me of the Quiet Place. Okay, all right, but sadly we can't watch it here in Malaysia. Okay, so try to actually look for a room, okay, or a space with minimal distractions, okay, preferably with a blackout curtain, especially if you are at the parts of the world where it is daylight, it is daytime. All right, even though if you are at places like Malaysia, it's nighttime, it will be good also for you to have a blackout curtain, because nowadays, right, externally we have like street lights, okay, we have like our other like commercial area lights and all these things that might actually distract our active meditation during the session. Okay, so if you have a yoga mat, that will be good for you to actually lie down or sit on it. Okay, we will need to sit on it and we need to lie down, okay, for two types of meditation. One is yin meditations and one is yang meditation. All right, so pen and paper also for you to write down and jot down any notes, okay, all right, during the workshop itself. So prepare a pen and some papers so that you can actually take down notes as well. Okay, now this is optional. If you have an eye patch, okay, that will be good. Now, eye patch and earplugs. Now, why is it so? Because during that night itself, I want you, okay, to in a way turn our senses internally more than externally. Okay, so we want to actually force our senses, okay, to turn internal or revert them internally rather than external. So the more the more sensory, okay, of the five senses that we can shut down or temporarily shut, okay, at that moment, it will be easier for us to stop the distraction and listen more to our inner voice and go deeper into our subconscious mind. Therefore, eye patch itself is doing part of the meditation. If you have it, you just want to cover your eyes so that there is no light or whatsoever that distracts you. It will be total pitch black, especially those of you who do not have a blackout curtain, or if you are in like countries or areas where it is daylight. All right, where else earplugs is also optional, but it will be great if you can prepare it, because when I want you at certain point to actually in a way start your ears. Now when I say earplugs here, is like, you know, ear stud as well. Okay, so earplugs here, I mean, it's not like for you to listen to me better. All right, if you can use a ear stud to actually stud your ears itself, right, so that you listen lesser to external noise, but like even a small little hum that you make, right, okay, you will listen to yourself like much louder. Those of you, if you have tried it before, you try to close your ears, right, when you close your ears and shut it, when no external voice can actually penetrate, you listen to even your own breathing. Okay, even your own breathing, you can actually listen to the rhythm of your own breathing itself. Therefore, earplugs is also a very good tool for us to prepare to minimize all these distractions. All right, and then of course you need candles. Now the candles part, I know there are quite a number of like questions relating to the candles. Now remember, I need candles. Now don't use candles which is like your birthday candles. These like small tiny candles, even though you have it at home, maybe you can't really see here. Birthday candles, very thin candles is not advisable, because we need to actually use the candles for at least like 20 minutes. It depends on that night itself, as in like 15 to 20 minutes depending on the progress of the group and also how much time we have on that particular night itself. But if you have a thin candles, right, very quickly it will actually finish up. So you need to actually prepare now. The best thing if you can prepare this type of candles is this, like, more fatter, rounder, bigger, okay, and you have a plate underneath to support its wax. Okay, so this will be the best option. You can get it in IKEA, you can get the small one or you can get the big one. It doesn't matter. You can use the candle anytime after that. Okay, so the candle itself, right, okay, is also used for part of the meditation on that particular night. So it's important for you to try your best to prepare the candle. Now some of you probably you have this type of candle also from IKEA itself. It comes in a glass. Okay, it's a glass like that, and you have the candles inside. Now this is not recommended. Why? Because I want you to have a very strong visible, okay, view of the wick of your candles. You know, when you lit your candle, that flame itself, you need to actually see directly to the flame. So when you have a glass like this covering the candle itself, right, you will not be able to actually look at the wick, because it will be like in a way through the glass, so it's not directly in a way gazing into the flame. All right, so this type of like candles is not recommended. But if you have no choice, you have no other candles, but this is all you got at home, use it. Okay, we do whatever it takes or whatever that we can. Now you can also use tea light candles. Okay, tea light candles, you can also use it, but the only thing is sometimes because the aluminum foil, okay, outside on the tea light candles here, it can be distractive as well, especially if you're using the smaller ones, because when you burn, right, sometimes the wick will actually sink inside. So when it sinks inside, the flame, a direct flame of the candle will not be reeled directly, okay? So that will also minimize the impact of the meditation. So I hope like those of you who sign up, you have a clearer picture of like how to prepare your candles, okay? Now, preferably the best for you is to prepare candles, which is like thick candles like this. If not, you can use, those like, Chinese, the white color candles, or, Westerns, your candlelight dinner candles and all that, that will be fine, okay? As long as it's like thick enough so that it doesn't burn off easily. So we need about like at least 15 to 20 minutes time, okay? As long as it stay at its height. Now, other than that, besides candles, I put like books or boxes, okay? That is stable enough, because I do not want to cause fire emergency at your home during the whole workshop itself. So if you can have a chair, okay, a stool, or even like books or boxes, whatever, now try to adjust before the workshop. Get yourself ready, adjust before the workshop itself, so that, right, okay, you can sit like cross legs on the floor or on your yoga mat, okay? When you're seated cross leg itself, right, and your spine straight and your back straight, that the candles is directly in front of you, okay, in like a meter's length. So you can actually put your hand to the front here, and the candles is placed, okay, right here, like this, in front of you. And the wick, okay, or the flame itself needs to be eye level, okay, not too low, not too high. All right, so I want you to use, like, it can be box, can be stool, can be books, and all these things to align, okay, that alignment first. So that will save up a lot of time during the night of meditation. So get yourself prepared, okay, with this, all right? So at least get yourself into a comfortable room, preferably you have the aircon on, okay? You cannot switch on the fan, because when you do the candle meditation itself, right, it will actually in a way affect the flames of your candles. Now try to look for a room, right, or a sitting position where even if you on your aircon, but you're not seated directly facing it, because we want your flame to be as stable as possible. So before Wednesday itself, you can try it on a Tuesday, okay? So find your position where it is comfortable enough, it is cooling enough, but no direct wind. All right, so that your flame itself can stay as stable as possible, so that on Wednesday night it will not distract you with the flickering of the flame. All right, so I hope, that's, it's something that you can understand more now, and you can prepare yourself. All right, and then a good and stable connections of your internet, okay, because we are doing it via Zoom. All right, so make sure that your internet connection is good, so that hopefully we have minimal undisrupted sort of like meditation. All right, so, and of course, then you have also optionals if you can, or if you want to. It's a Vesak day for those of you who are like, Buddhists and all that. So on that day itself, before the sessions or in the morning, up to you, if you can, try to have a flower bath. Now, flower bath here, you can use whatever flowers that you want to. Now, if you can, preferably choose like, rose petals, that will be great. So you can use like white, red, or even pink rose petals. Now, if you don't have rose petals, you can be chrysanthemums, any flowers, okay? Just like, like do a flower bath with your flowers, and also do a scrub, okay, energy scrub, okay, that is using either your Epsom salt, your sea salt, or your Himalayan salt, okay? So it's like you shower yourself, everything. Once you get yourself ready, you scrub yourself with either Epsom salt or your Himalayan sea salt throughout the body. Wash your hair as well, okay? Ensure that all your meridian points, including your crown chakra, okay, all the way front and back itself, scrub with the salt to energy cleanse yourself, okay? And after that, finally rinse it with the flower bath, means the flower essence, okay, in the water itself. So once you get this ready, all right, before the whole session start, it will be good if you prepare a big jug or at least a mug of warm water with lemon slices, okay? Because during the meditations or after meditations, we requires a lot of hydrations. We need to actually drink a lot of water to keep ourselves hydrated as well, okay? Because we are working on energy, and energy is fire element. Somehow it actually in a way drains, okay, our moisture or our hydrations level in the body. So it will be good also to actually keep ourselves hydrated. And of course, lastly, okay, prepare yourself with an open mind and an open heart. Okay, so I really hope that explains it. Again, for those of you, if please, if you can help me to share this session out so that it can reach out to more people at the same time, because you see, the more people collectively energy, if we can meditate on that night itself, the more powerful or more intense, okay, that energy will be, because we are connecting with like heaven, earth, man together. We are connecting with heaven's energy, which is like the sun and moon in this particular scenario. And then earth is of course earth, on earth here, and man, earth as human. All right. So this scenario is happening between sun and moon and earth. And of course, we as human, we are contributing our energy as well. So on that night, it will be like in a way of a transitional energy, okay? It means like the energy itself will grow or links people together, right? Heaven, earth, and also man. So always remember, the more people can join the session itself, the more intense and the more powerful it will be. All right. So I will be also preparing like some oracle cards. Okay. Now these oracle cards will be all looking into like blockages within ourselves. Okay. At the end of the session, you will be needed to actually pick an oracle card. It's like a message from the universe or your guardian angels or whatever, like religious gurus or the religions that you are in a way you believe in. It can be from Mother Mary, it can be from Jesus, it can be from like like Buddha, or it can be from Guan Yin Ma. But this particular energy card itself on that night, we want to in a way harness the powerful energy of the universe itself to show us a guide, to show us a sign of what are the things that we need to renew and realign currently in our life path. Okay, what are the focus we need to look into, and how we can actually delve deeper into our subconscious and our unconscious mind to find all the answers that we're already holding on within ourselves. All right, whether you believe it or not, okay, in the path of spirituality, we believe, okay, that our human mind, our subconscious and unconscious holds all the answer for ourselves. Whatever we need to know is within there, but it's just that it is out of reach. Okay, so we need to try and learn to reach it as much as possible so that we can reveal, okay, whatever that's hidden there, to have more clarity and more connection within this lifetime. So I hope this sharing sessions helps you, right? Especially for those of you who have actually, in a way, registered for the session. So if you have not registered, right, okay, please scan on the QR code here, all right? Or click on the link below to register yourself. Now, it is via Zoom, okay, so it has like capacity limitations, okay, so it's on first come, first serve. So I really urge, if you can, register yourself first, and I will see you on Wednesday night. If you have any questions, okay, do drop it at the comments below, all right? So yeah, I will try to actually get to your questions, especially those that I have not actually answered, okay, in this particular sharing sessions as well. So Janet Craft, I say, eating less meat, less sugar, it's Zai. Yeah, okay, less meat, less sugar, okay. If you can, less processed food as well, okay, as fresh as possible. That would be ideal. Experience it, all right. So don't worry, the session will not be the traditional time. We are moving into period 9, okay. So it's not that I do not believe, or I don't, like, in a way, I'm not like a fan of traditional meditations and all that, but I am actually more a fan of the Yang meditations, okay, something which is more vibrant. You will understand more of this, like the difference between the Yin meditations and the Yang meditations. We'll be doing like in a short period of time, okay, we'll be experiencing both, all right? So yeah, if you are like new to all these things, it's your first time, all right, give me your open heart and mind, okay, experience it, all right? So one thing I want to tell you is like that night itself, during the session, don't worry, I don't have nothing to sell you, all right? Just in case that some of you will be skeptical, okay, she's asking us to sign up to Zoom, okay? So I just let you know in advance, because I truly feel that this is like, it's like at least it only happens once this year. This type of phenomena, it doesn't come by very frequently, okay? So these are special moments. I really hope to see all of you on that particular sacred night. All right, thank you so much to all of you. If you have questions, do ask me. Any more questions here? All right, Analia registered, but it's going to be my morning. It's okay, morning. Make sure you have your eye shade. If you have a blackout curtain, make sure you have a blackout curtain. All right, so Ajitan, appreciate that. Thank you. May I know how long is the meditation? Took how long? Okay, meditation normally it will take about like 15, longest 20 minutes. I will somehow see, because I also need to channel into the energy on that day, okay? I cannot set a workshop, especially when it comes to all this like energy workshops itself, right? There's no syllabus to it. I know what I want to do, but there's no, okay, from 7 to 7:15, it will be like this. 7:15 to 7:30, it will be like, if I do that, it will be too fixated and it cannot go with the flow. So exactly how long is the meditation? It really depends on the flow on that day itself, but it won't be too long because this is only a short workshop, because it will last up to like about 8:30, latest up to 9, because I still have a Facebook Live thereafter. All right, so I really hope that y'all can join me. The meditation will not take long. It won't take up to like half an hour or 1 hour. Okay, definitely not. The maximum 15 minutes, that's considered very long already. All right, so any more questions there? All right, okay, yeah. Any sector of the house to avoid while doing this meditation? Now, don't worry, all right? This meditation itself, you do not have to avoid any sector, including 5 yellow. Don't worry about it. Now, you don't have to purposely go to your 5 yellow to do this meditation, all right? But those of you who attended my Rise to Thrive, you know what I mean, okay? Why I say that don't even try to avoid the 5 yellow, all right? In fact, if you ask me, right, if you're ready enough, okay, you can even consider sitting in the 5 yellow, only if you're ready enough, okay, right? So those of you who have not attended my Rise to Thrive masterclass, don't sit in the 5 yellow, all right? But if you really ask me any areas to avoid, no. Okay, I wouldn't say that there will be any particular areas to avoid. Okay, so I just want you to choose an area which is comfortable, quiet, so that you have minimal distraction, or best is no distraction at all. I do already feel this week there is an energy pushing me to take uncomfortable action, Mam Yi. All right, good. Because if you're sensitive enough, or at least we train ourselves to be sensitive enough, or retrain, trust me, every one of us, we are born sensitive enough, okay, to feel the energy. Everyone as a baby, that's why you see babies. Have you heard that people say feng shui, right? You know, traditionally they say that you bring a baby into the house. If the baby enjoys it calmly, they can rest and sleep. The house feng shui is good. If you bring a baby into the house and somehow they feel irritated, they feel frustrated, and they will cry, it means that the energy of the house is not as good. Why is it so? Because all babies, all of us, you and me inclusive, okay, when we were born, we are all at our height, okay, of energy sensing. We are so sensitive to our, or connected, okay, to our environment, external, heaven and earth, okay. We are so connected. But over time on earth here, okay, somehow we have learned so much fear, so much disconnection, so much numbing of our emotions, okay, that eventually we do not feel, okay, this sensitivity anymore, all right. So when you start to feel it back, it's a good thing. It means that slowly, somehow something within us is opening back again. All right, so is it advisable to sit back face the 9th heaven? I mean, yes, if you're into Qi, okay, if you want to, or you can, to seek a certain direction, okay, to use the Qi energy to support you, why not? If you know that, use it. All this knowledge that you have actually accumulated, use it to your best advantage. All right, so yeah, any more there? The last eclipse with flowers and sub-rod by Jessie really made me feel better. All right, Ajitan, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I've done that before, okay? So normally I don't really focus so much on all this workshop, but to me, I feel that when the time is right, when the energy is intense, when the need is there, let's do it all together so that more people can benefit from it. All right, so thank you so much. And before I leave you, please, those of you who have not helped me to share, please help me to share this out. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the Wednesday. All right, bye-bye.